Hey, Danny Bauer here, Chief Ruckus Maker over at Better Leaders, Better Schools. And I'm here with Pete Hall in Chasing the Show, which is a book I highly, highly recommend. I have to say, Pete, you joined me ages ago. I think it was, I said 2016, December 2016, episode 72. The topic of the show is called Lose Your Idea, Leave It to the Team, right? And so you can go back and check out that show. But Pete is a gem when it comes to education and leadership. This is an awesome book, again, Chasing the Show, that I recommend. And I just want to throw the mic to you, Pete. And, why'd you write the book?
Hey, thanks, Danny. It's good to see you again after all these years. We were even younger men.
We were younger. Right?
Yeah.
I had a big beard, not the summer stash.
there you go. I still can't grow anything. So I think we're fine. I think there's nothing to worry about.
Right.
Your question is, why did I write the book? And thanks for asking that question. The big idea is that as a school leader, as a father, as a educator, I want to share messages and I want to help us get in a better place. And one of the spots that I found us really lacking was with young people, teens, young adults in particular, who have dreams, who have goals, who have ambitions. As adults, whether we're parents, caregivers, educators, counselors, whoever, we sometimes miss the true nature of that kid and that dream. And how do we navigate leading and supporting the goal? How do we encourage a plan B? And how do we simultaneously do that? So I wrote this story I'll just tell you, it's sort of semi-autobiographical.
Right.
And I morphed all those different pieces that we're talking about. So I believe it is an entertaining story. And I also believe it is a helpful book for educators, for coaches, for parents in particular, and the young people that live this life and are trying to figure out exactly where they're headed.
Yeah. Pete, I love working with leaders that have a bias for action. So can we leave whoever's watching this video just with one tip they could take action on to potentially uncover, the dreams of those they serve, whether it's a teacher and their student, a principal and their staff, or whatever. But what's your best tip for that?
Yeah, it sounds really obvious, but ask and listen. And I think one of the things that great educators do, what great parents do, is they find a way, they find a space, they create a space, and then they find that space and they find that time to ask them, hey, what's up? What's going on? What are you interested in? What are you working on? And whether that's kneeling down next to them in a classroom and just asking that question, coming up to them in the hallway and asking that question. If you're at home, you're working on a project, ask for help while you're working on that project and then get that conversation going. A lot of times, and I learned this from my grandfather, when you get your hands dirty with something, you're muddling around with something, it's a whole lot easier to free your mind to have that dialogue. Right. Sometimes that face-to-face can be intimidating and put offish. So anytime we have an opportunity to ask and listen, I think that'll do it. So you got to be willing to take the step. We cannot sit around and wait for someone to tell us what their goals are. We got to go ask. We got to force the issue.
So I'm hearing you say be proactive and ask and listen. Common sense is not common practice. And John Doerr says ideas are easy, execution's everything. So do that. Ask, listen, and then take action on what you learn. So Pete, Chasing the Show, again, recommend that Ruckus Makers pick that up. Where do you want to direct them to buy the book?
It's available at the publisher's site and Amazon, et cetera, et cetera. If you go to chasingtheshow.com, I've got my site set up with some information about the book and also have links and ISBN number so you can shop local and don't have to go to those behemoth beasts of online retailers. So you can just find it downtown.
Brilliant. So I will link up chasingtheshow.com so you can go and shop local. Pete, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely. Thanks, Danny.